It is the Bulls Chat Podcast. I am Joe Malone, the head coach, the general manager of the North Iowa Bulls. Todd Sanden is here. Coach, a winning weekend against Austin. You got to love that.
Yeah, I mean, we were pretty fortunate, I think, to get a pair of wins. I mean, Austin's a big, fast, heavy club, a veteran club, and we just stuck around in two games and figured out a way to win them.
This was the, I believe, third and fourth meetings for the Bulls and the Bruins. And now going into overtime and shootouts, half of those games, I mean, you talk about close, it doesn't get much closer.
Yeah, and you look on even the Saturday night result is it's a 5-3 game with an empty netter. So that was basically another one-goal game before we get the empty net goal. So these two teams are matched up pretty closely.
Now, let's start with the 3-2 shootout win Friday night at Austin up at their rink. The Bulls penalty kill coming up big because, well, you kind of put yourself in some tough situations throughout that game, but luckily came away with very little damage.
Yeah, it's for a coach, it's frustrating when you're allowing a team 8 opportunities on the power play, and certainly we didn't have very many. I think we had 3 opportunities on the power play. So just forcing your team and your goaltender to absorb extra shots and your defensemen to block extra shots, and even like your top killers who are getting up there on the point shots to take it. You're eating a lot more pucks and risking a little injury and potential goals against. So we were excited that our kill was good on Friday night and that our goalie was able to kind of hold the fort for us.
Now, one of those penalties was, well, a lot of people got penalties on Friday night. Max Scott, though, managed to kind of atone for one of his by coming back and getting a goal. Talk to me about when you see a player, kind of get in a situation where you're like, dang it, why are we doing that? To, all right, here we go. Does that help alleviate things for the players, for the team, for you when they kind of redeem themselves?
I'm going to say 100% yes, but I want to preface it with, we know the game is 60 minutes long. As long as our guys aren't making a big mistake in minutes 55 through 60, we always feel like there's a chance for atonement and a chance to get back to the good side of things. And obviously, you've known me for a long time, but we preach way more positives than negatives in our approach with our players. So when they do something that maybe they're not happy about or proud about, we kind of do expect them to come back and do something good a bit later in the game.
And I didn't mean to, call out one name, but it stuck out that Max, got a goal back in that game, and besides Justin Mexico, who scored the first goal for the Bulls and then ended up getting the winner in the shootout. Now, one new name that I wanted to bring up here, Brett Morich. What a debut, I guess, for him. Not necessarily on the score sheet, but on the and the penalty side of things. Who's Brett Morich, and why is he all fired up?
So, I mean, Brett's a 20-year-old forward that came to us from the Jamestown Rebels, and Brett is a guy who's going to provide consistent effort, consistent physicality, a willingness to protect teammates, and himself when needed. And that was something, that's a piece that our team needed. We needed a bit more physicality in our lineup. And I think if Brett's willing to embrace the role that we have for him, and certainly we've kind of laid it out for him, he'll have a job here. And I think when you see Brett out there, you should expect him to be hard to play against in all the ways, all the meanings of what that is, being physical, being hard on guys, maybe a little extra whack here and there with the stick. It's like you come in, you sit down with the coach, and we're not asking them to score 20 goals. We're just asking them to be physical, play fast, get pucks behind their D, pressure their D, and just hit everything around you.
And maybe not quite 29 minutes of penalties every game.
You know what? You're going to come in and you're going to make a splash with the team. He went off the high board.
Yes, that was the 10-meter or 15-meter board right there.
Cannonball.
Yeah. Now, next up was Saturday night against Austin. As you mentioned, it was a 5-3 win for the Bulls at the Mason City Arena. That fifth goal coming on an empty netter. Austin came to play on Saturday night and didn't waste much time in both the first and second period, scoring super quick in those first two frames. You've got after that first goal, 59 minutes and 27 seconds to answer back. But when it happens again in the second, how are you feeling?
Coach Murdoch, I don't know if this is an appropriate term, but he said they bum rushed us early in both the first and the second. We just weren't ready for it. Like, they came out with guns a-blazing, and we were on our heels a little bit, and obviously they found the back of the net because of it. So a little bit on our end, like we just got to be ready for a team's best at every point of the game, and especially at the start of periods.
Now, the Bulls would be tied after that goal at the beginning of the second period, and then Byron Hartley kind of took over when it comes to the offensive side of things. 2 goals in the second period. The second was an insane level goal. Like, I wouldn't even know how to do that on NHL 22, the video game. Bench went nuts. Are you celebrating along with that as well? Or are you pounding the clipboard when you see a player make an individual play like that?
I have to be honest. If any camera in the building caught my facial expression, it was complete, utter awe and amazement on the move that he made coming across the crease there to score that goal. And our entire bench had the same look on their face. So, yeah, it was. I was certainly excited about that because that was a ridiculous goal.
Well, he pushes the puck one way around the defender. He skates around the defender the other way, kicks the puck back to his stick, gets the goalie to bite one way, and puts it in the back of the net, all in like what seemed like about 2 steps. It was pretty cool to see. If you go to the North Iowa Bulls YouTube channel, Facebook page, you can watch that. And part of that highlight package as well is the play of Hunter Garvey. You talk about bringing people to their feet. Hunter Garvey in net is making some crazy saves. And I know Coach Murdoch is kind of like the goaltender guy. Is he teaching these saves, or does he just say, go out there and do what you do?
Well, I think there's a fair amount of the goaltending trade that you just have to go out and do what you do. But Coach Murdoch does spend time with our guys, and more to just calm them in the net and have them work their routine to benefit them. So, I mean, and Hunter was outstanding this weekend for us. I mean, the fact that he gave up 6 goals really doesn't tell the whole story on, man, he made some huge saves throughout the weekend for us.
The one with the blocker from that highlight package that was put together, just sort of, get this puck out of here. I don't want it anywhere near our net. And the speed at which that was coming at him, I mean, it's impressive to go back and watch it in slow motion.
Yeah, I mean, he's been, and actually he's starting to string some consistency together, too, for us. Not just collecting wins, but in his play.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about the relationship between the Bulls and the Toros. The Bulls are NAHL, the Toros NA3HL, taking over what the Bulls had started in that decade of dominance there. And you've got some players moving up. You got some players moving down. I know last night, as we record this here on Monday, Andrew Stacey was playing for the Toros. Is that just about getting more ice time for some of the Bulls players?
Yeah, when you look at Stacey being a defenseman in our 8-man rotation, and he's one of the youngest, if not the youngest defenseman we have, and with 6 veteran D who all played in Amarillo last year, there is not a lot of extra ice time available for our young guys to develop. So, with the opportunity of us, playing Friday, Saturday, and the Toros playing Saturday, Sunday, there was an open game for a player to jump into, and we talked to Andrew after the game on Saturday night, and just presented the opportunity. He's like, "Yeah, I would love to jump in and get some extra reps with the Toros on Sunday."
Yeah, and the Toros are playing good. I mean, Bulls back on top in the division. I believe a point over Austin. And the Toros are just back of Granite City in the West. And, I mean, it's exciting hockey at every level that you get a chance to watch at the Mason City Arena.
Yeah, and I mean, like we talked a little bit off the air, I mean, I'm hoping that fans aren't just strictly trying to go to one or the other. I mean, when you look at the Toros, who were the Bulls, are probably a big reason why we're able to have a Tier 2 team in this town. Obviously, the community facility helped, but when you look at what those kids of the past have done with that program here, personally for me, like I've benefited tremendously from it, and I think the community has as well. But just looking to get more support out for their team in fan numbers, and I think we have good packages available for people to be involved in watching both games. I do realize there's only so much discretionary income to go around in families, but I still love that team. My heart's in that room, and we just want to make sure that get out and support that team, because you're going to see kids from that team come up and play on our team, and you can be part of that process by supporting them.
And I'm looking here, if I've got everything on my phone correctly, get a chance to watch the Toros on Friday the 26th, and then the Bulls are at home on Saturday the 27th. So it's the best of both worlds for that Thanksgiving
obviously
weekend.
That's a big weekend of like Black Friday weekend. I think the promo is for that weekend, where I think that's going to be a bananas weekend of hockey here for both teams.
I know that Saturday I'm going to be at Central Park a couple hours before puck drop for the lighting of the Christmas tree, and then we'll watch that light up against the opposition goalie all night long for the Bulls. So
that sounds awesome. And obviously Central Park, a prime location in town, and I might have to sneak over there and get the time from you when they light that Christmas tree. That's always a big time of year for everybody.
I'll get you an extra lyric sheet. We're going to be doing sing-alongs, so
I got to be way in the back if I'm singing.
Now, real quick, just a preview of coming up this weekend. One game going up to St. Cloud, taking on the Norsemen. What are the Norsemen? They're 5-5 in their last 10 games. They've given up the least amount of goals in the division. They're kind of at the tail end of that quagmire that is the middle of the division. What are you expecting to see on Saturday?
I'm expecting another track meet of a game. I mean, that's a team that generates with speed. They're a team who really went through a process last year, and I think they're going to benefit from their process this year. I mean, they have a lot of kids back, a lot of veteran players. So that's a team that you are going to have to prepare for and contend with every night you play them. Certainly, I don't think their record tells exactly where they're at in the standings. And like they had a slow start in games too, so they're going to catch up here. That's going to be a tough one on Saturday night, especially going in there for the first time.
Yeah, first matchup of the season for St. Cloud and North Iowa, and that game will be on Mixler, North Iowa Bulls, and also on Hockey TV. Coach Sanden, always great to be able to talk hockey with you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Joe. We appreciate it, and love to have all the fans in the building supporting both teams. We had a great crowd here Saturday night, over 1,300. So let's just keep building those crowds and excitement in town.
That is the head coach, general manager of the North Iowa Bulls, Todd Sanden, Bulls Chat Podcast.